Good morning. Oh, there's Terrence. Perfect timing. Oh, why won't it let me admit him? Why is it not letting me admit him? Oh, there it goes. Okay, admit. Lord, I'm having the hardest time. Oh, that's his note taker. Yay, he has his note taker here. Hi. Hello. Oh, I need to change a setting. What do I need to change? I need to change. It looks like I need to change a setting so that. What setting do I need to change? Hey, what setting do I need to change? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I just took off the mute.
Oh, okay. I don't what setting do I need to change? It's saying I need to change a setting for you to do for the note taker to do something.
Oh, I mean, I ain't tripping about the note
Oh, okay,
taker.
okay.
Yeah.
We're live, Terrence. We're live.
Yes, we did it. We did it.
Yo. Yo. How does this even look? I need to pull up the thing on my what you call it too to make sure. How do you get it so that I can see both of our faces in the screen? I haven't done Zoom or any of these things in a minute. Do you know how?
I mean, currently it has mine. It has both of ours on mine, so
Oh,
I
it
don't know if
does?
that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let me see. Anyway,
I can see this.
good morning. Thank you for making the time to talk with me. I just wanted to talk live because I love chatting with you and I think of these conversations as friends in the key of life. Do you know the album Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder?
No, but Stevie Wonder is absolutely my girlfriend's favorite artist ever, ever and
Really?
ever. Yeah,
Same.
she got, yeah,
What are
she
her
got
favorite
Penny.
Stevie Wonder songs?
I couldn't tell you because I'm not, I'm
Well,
not the most
do you
proficient.
have a favorite Stevie Wonder song?
Um, I do. I do. I can't think of the title though. Oh
Is
my
it
gosh.
as in something 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 some? No.
Mm, all I can remember is so I have like an emotional memory, right? So
Mhm.
it's like anytime I remember stuff, all I can remember is the moments. So there was just this moment I was on the train and this older man who looked like he was I'm sure it's not even a matter of what he looks like. It was he had all his belongings with him, so I
Mhm.
know he was like a transient, like he ain't had nowhere to live.
Mhm.
So he was listening to the song, but he was just jamming, like you know what I mean. He ain't had nothing to worry about, but I don't remember the song though.
Was it Don't You Worry About a Thing?
Nah,
He does have
nah,
a
nah.
song called Don't You Worry About a
It's
Thing.
it's like I didn't want to say this because it's so cliche, but you know, he's talking about loving someone. It's like it's every Stevie Wonder
I
song.
well, yes and no, because every Stevie Wonder song is also about loving all of us too. Because Stevie loves
Mm.
humanity. He really loves humanity when you listen to his music. And yeah. But so anyway, why didn't you want to say that it was he was talking about loving? Why did that seem? You don't say a lot of cliche things though. Now that come to hear it, come to
Nah,
think
just
of it.
because I feel like a lot of like you just what you mentioned, he's a very you know, humanitarian. Like he
Mm-hmm.
shows love and expresses
Mm-hmm.
that very consistently.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I felt like if I described it like, oh, he was talking about loving a woman, I'm pretty sure it's 40 songs.
Yeah, it probably is 40 songs. It probably is 40 songs.
That that doesn't narrow it down well.
That doesn't narrow it down well, but all that to say, I always thought that there should be like a podcast that had interviews between friends where it felt like you were eavesdropping on a phone conversation sort of, but like every conversation was set up where you talk about like your what's your favorite Stevie Wonder song. This is because I based the idea off of a friend of mine who sings and she loves Stevie Wonder. So it's one of those things where I sing a note or I sing a word and then she's ready to pick up
Mm.
the whole song from there. But but that's what conversations between friends are like. You know what I mean? And I think of our conversations, though we haven't known each other long, and we don't even know that we're coming from the same catalog. Do you know what I'm saying? But like when we talk, it's like you say a thing and then I'm off, or I say a thing and then you're off. Would you say that that's how the back and forth feels to you?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely feel like we feed off of each other as well as you inspire, or I should say you provoke thoughts that I don't typically have. But I mean, the thing I enjoy the most about our conversations is feeling like I'm recognized,
Hmm.
and because like oftentimes when I'm talking to people, I feel like I'm out of the ordinary or like saying something
Mm.
weird. So it's always refreshing to just be talking to somebody and it's like I'm being understood, being
Mm-hmm.
recognized.
I'm gonna read you. Every time I'd set up to, I'm gonna read you because sometimes I will say different things on the phone up, and you'll repeat it. I'll be like, well, that's the scripture, and please know I'm not trying to, whatever you. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna read something to you because this is a great. It's a great. This was one of my. Hold on.
Yeah, I know. Like you said, I feel like sometimes like I be thinking it's so interesting with like Bible quotes because you'll
Mm-hmm.
think something is a Bible quote and it's from a movie. Or at least I have
Right.
like
Right. Mm-hmm.
experienced that a lot where it's like something from a movie sounds
Sounds
so
biblical.
religious,
Mm-hmm.
so biblical. That was the word I was looking for, Ricky. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was Spider-Man. That
Okay.
was
Spider-Man, the Old Testament. Spider-Man, the Old Testament.
yeah,
Wait, so this is what I
yeah.
wanted. These were the two. Hold on, I found them. Okay, so one, the first one is from First Peter 2. First Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that you should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. So the peculiar thing is what I wanted to share with you. My mom has called me that before in like a biblical way. And it is like it's an interesting choice of words. And then the second is, this is what I used to say to myself in college all the time. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my
Mm,
soul knoweth well. Fearfully and wonderfully made. That's the other thing that you are. Because you know how the other day when you were walking out, wherever you were with Tony, you were leaving her and you're on your way home or wherever you were going, and you walked into the sunlight, and I was like, oh my gosh, you are a child. Like you were just aglow with the light of the Lord. Like you have such light in you that moves through you, Terrence. You really do. You really do.
thanks and praise, man. It's so interesting that you mentioned that because we're just ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
like day to day. We deal with ourselves. So I guess because I know how human I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recognize that all the time. So that's why, that's part of why I love Tony because like that first or the second John you said about being fearfully and wonderfully
Mm-hmm.
made is like she always is, she always reiterates and reinforces and
Mm.
reassures that, we're all very, very divinely purposed and made. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I've been integrating that lately. So
Mm.
that's definitely on time. I'm
Mm-hmm.
definitely integrating that.
And I'm in a phase of like, have you ever been in a fake it till you make it phase where you're not feeling it, but you know you have to do it? I had a therapist that used to say, um, feelings are not facts, right? And I live in
Mm,
my feeling a lot, and I act in my feeling a lot. And I'm in a season where I am to be acting despite my feelings, you know what I'm saying? And being
yeah.
consistent in my actions despite my feelings. So I think um the the thing that helps me do that is by shining light on other people whose light I recognize. It helps to center me. It's weird. It helps to center me. It really does. And it helps to take the focus off of myself or whatever I'm feeling and to put it more productively on someone else and what I see in them, because it's so much easier sometimes to see the God in others than it is the God in you, you
Wow.
know?
Yeah, it definitely, like you just said, yeah, it's definitely, you can see a lot of good in others.
Mhm.
It's much more simple, I would say.
Mhm. It's a lot,
Like,
yeah, it comes more naturally. Mhm. And there
yeah.
aren't any buts or whatabouts, because and part of that is limited information. But the other part of that, Terrence, is even if I saw a litany of your sins, like
Mhm.
how little difference that would make to me and how I react and relate to you. Do you know what I'm saying? So like
My
all
lady says that all the time. She
does she?
says, yeah, she says, we're usually, when we admire something about somebody, we're usually seeing something about ourselves or a version of
Mm,
ourselves in them as well. So, like you said, it's hard to, uh, it's simple to see the good, and I'm sure it's like, as much as we might not see the good in ourselves, people are really good at denying what's bad. So it's really hard to
mm,
see like the bad in you when you're doing something wrong. So when you see
mm.
the good in somebody, like you said, they could do a whole bunch of things that don't seem the most flattering or the most admirable, but you like, but yeah, but I still see good
But
in
you
you though.
still see it. But you still
Yeah,
see it. But you still see it. So when we met at the Container Village, and will you talk to me about that? What's it called? The fourth district? What's the district called
yeah,
there? Okay. Will
yeah,
you tell me about that area of Philadelphia, its importance to the city and its importance to you?
yeah. I mean, I'll start with how it's important to me because I'm a transplant, so
Hmm.
as far as like
Oh, but tell us where you're
historically.
from. Tell us where you're from. Newport News, Virginia.
Yeah, yeah. I'm from Newport News. Well, I'm originally from the United Kingdom, but I
Oh,
was
I didn't
raised.
know that.
Yeah, yeah. I was raised in Virginia. My folks, they was military.
I
So
didn't know that you were born in the United Kingdom.
yeah, yeah. I lived there for about. I think I stayed there till I was like 4 or 5. I
Those are
remember.
formative years.
Yeah, man. I mean, shoot, it was definitely some very impactful and
Mhm.
very like forming
Mhm. Mhm.
experiences I had there. Definitely memories for sure. I
Yeah,
definitely
that's
remember living
right
there.
when you start making your memories, right around then. My parents got divorced when I was 4 or 5, around that time, and like a lot of that period are my earliest memories. So that you were there, I'm like, oh, that's still in your memory. You remember that? Yeah.
And then I moved to Virginia, and then I lived in Newport News for about nearly 20 years. I would say like pretty much like 20 years, and then I've been in Philadelphia ever since then, over the last 8 or 9 years. So every day I'm still learning something about Philadelphia, man. Like I'm still always learning something. Um, and
Yeah.
my experience being at the Container Village, what I learned a lot about is politics and stuff. I feel like that
Mm.
was like my biggest takeaway, like politics and what they would call like getting funding and like getting capital for projects throughout the city, like municipality
Mm.
legislative stuff. Um, and so, what I do know about just a particular part of the fourth district, I'm a lot more acquainted with Lancaster Avenue, which they call the Black Bottom. I've been working to organize community and organize businesses over there for nearly 3 years, going on about like I'm currently in my second year, but nearly about 3 years in the effort of revitalizing and venerating what they call the Black Bottom because it was a historic site where Martin Luther King gave a really notable and large speech.
Mhm.
It's called the corridor out there. It's like a juncture of 3 streets out there in Lancaster Avenue.
Mhm.
So, that's been my primary effort. And then because I was getting recognized for that, it landed me over there at the Container Village, as you mentioned,
Mhm.
because they wanted me to do the same thing, just amplify some of the significance, whether it's what the organizations of the community are facilitating or what the local vendors and entrepreneurs are experiencing
Mm-hmm.
as well. So that was a lot of what goes on at the container village. It's like
Mm-hmm.
literal containers
Mm-hmm.
where people are able to
Yeah, I love
have like
those.
micro business out
Yeah.
there and
Mm-hmm.
experience events and like city organized efforts to just highlight what's going on inside of our community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what's your background? Because are you a former rapper or a current rapper? It doesn't are
Yeah,
you
man,
do
I
have a
still,
mm-hmm.
I'm definitely with the music. Like, I'm definitely, I always, I'm a rapper, songwriter, um, poet. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Writer, like a songwriter for other artists and stuff. So it's like one thing about my experience with music is like I've um, the role that I play or the way that I design my approach to it, for lack of a better word, is, I really study a lot of other Gemini artists because I'm a
Mm.
Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
So like Lauryn Hill,
Mm.
Andre 3000,
Mm.
Tupac,
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick Lamar. And one thing
Mm.
that I like about them the most is like they don't allow the demand, so called, or
Mm-hmm.
like the climate or the pace of the music industry to
Mm-hmm.
dictate they work. Like Lauryn Hill got one good project. She got one
Mm-hmm.
project, period.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still one of the most relevant artists known
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
beyond that genre. Like same thing
Mm-hmm.
with Andre 3000. He doesn't have a solo project at all, but he's contributed so much.
Yes, he
Tupac's
does.
life.
The flute album. Oh, does that not count as a
Well, yeah, yeah, you're
okay,
right.
right, yeah.
Now, yeah,
Now the
you're
flute
absolutely
album,
right.
right? Because you're
Right.
right. Even the Love Below was that was the speaker box, the Love Below, like it was a double album. So you're right. Yep, interesting. Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Tupac. It's like he wasn't even barely 25 years old, and he's still top five most
Mm-hmm.
sold artists ever. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I pull from that lineage of like I'm not an artist I'm not making a living off being an artist. Like I feel like I've learned from them a lot. Even Prince is Gemini, where it's like he
Mm.
was super intentional about letting people know, like not letting the industry consume
Yeah.
your personhood.
Right.
You know what I
Yo,
mean?
isn't it crazy? It is crazy how the things that Prince and Michael Jackson were saying about like the labor conditions, like the enslavement
Mm-hmm.
conditions of their work, their contribution, their input. And like you
Yeah.
said, personhood, like which is a word you and I talk about. We talk about personhood a lot, we talk about sovereignty a lot. You know what I'm saying? And that happens because of AI, because we both have been, I would say, like I would say top of head deep. You know what I'm saying? Not even like knee deep, like top of
Mm-hmm.
head deep in
Right.
it. You know what I'm saying? Like top of head
Emerged.
deep in it. Emerge 100% in it. I don't know the exact timeline of your journey, but I know one thing, like where we are in our journeys to me is it's comparable, it's compatible. You know what I mean? And you're a
Yeah.
lot further in your repeatable writing process with AI than I am, and I'm still trying to get a lesson from you. But you're right. Listening to what Prince was saying about personhood, that he wasn't even really saying, but that what he was showing, just with
Yeah.
the you know what I mean, just the thing on his cheek. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like it's
Yeah.
just. I wish he were alive today to receive. I mean, people always give Prince his flowers, but it almost makes me, one of the things that I daydream about is like if I worked with X person who has
Mm.
Y kind of intellectual property, like asset that is linear, but and could be thought about, like reverse engineered from like 200 years from now, 100 years from now, that type of thing. And Stevie Wonder is one of those people. I hadn't even considered Prince, but he's also one of those people because the thing you have to engineer. Why are you smiling?
Cause you just like those are really, really amazing people to want to, like you said, work with, and like the way your imagination works, it was like that's cool.
Like reverse engineering, like, hey,
Yeah.
we've got to set up the listenership, the viewership for the next 200 years. Like, you need to have a seeding, a harvest plan, a toiling and tilling plan, like toiling and tilling plan, because once you're no longer here, I mean, and you gave the perfect reason right there, because of freaking Tupac. Like, Tupac lets us know that the longevity of an artist far surpasses their lifespan.
Yeah.
And that is intergenerational wealth. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
man.
like, of all the things that I think Black people, we talk about Black people a lot, that Black people have been, it's not robbed, it's not undermined in, but intergenerational wealth is one of those things that I don't think every family has had an opportunity to build, because it requires having an asset, like having assets at the time that you die. You know what I'm saying? Or having them
Mhm.
before you die and putting away to the extent that you won't bother them, and then they'll grow and you can give them to somebody else. That's a hard thing to do during your
Mhm.
lifespan. You know what I'm saying? To put money, like, it's just difficult for most
Mhm.
people. You know what I'm saying? But when you're a musician too, you got to think about like the life of your music beyond you. I think we take for granted that people's music will just stay in the zeitgeist, in the mindset of the people, but it won't. But it won't. Hmm?
That's why I don't that's why I don't exploit myself in the name of being a performing artist. I want to highlight something that you mentioned as far as, and I'm gonna reword it for
Yes,
how I
please do. I
received
love
it.
it when you reword it. I just love that you understand me enough to reword it, because that's like the key to really understanding or hearing somebody. So please.
Yeah, yeah, it's interpretation because it's like
Interpretation. Yep. Yep.
I'm like, that's why I focus on building the infrastructure
Mm-hmm.
for my music, because I know if I just make music, what infrastructure is already in
Right.
place,
Right.
it's not going to preserve me. So that's why I have a media platform first and foremost
Mm-hmm.
before I do my creative outlets as an artist. Because that's one thing about me is like I didn't get into music because I wanted to get on the pipeline to fame and fortune as it's
Mm-hmm.
already arranged.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The moment I came into the music industry, I came in pronouncing myself as an executive because my role was making sure that a really prominent artist that I knew
Mm-hmm.
executed his ideas proficiently.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the reason why I took that approach was because when I started watching the interviews of all of the people I mentioned,
Mm.
and then they were vocal about the people who arranged their estates, or
Mm.
we got hindsight now to see what happened to their
Mm-hmm.
assets and their lineage, I
Mm-hmm.
started piecing things together and say,
Mm-hmm.
there's a malpractice going on in here.
Yes, there
There's
is.
something
Yes,
wrong
there's
going
something
on.
wrong.
Yeah. So
And
I
I
was
don't
like,
even think it's all, no, I don't think that people necessarily know that they're doing wrong. But we're at the point now where if I point something else out to you, now you're making a choice to not do. Yeah, keep going. Mhm.
you mean? So it was like, let me start from the root. I'm not
Mhm.
going to just hop in and be an artist. I'm going to start from the root. And, that's why I focus on distribution through media primarily. And then, I would say amongst my other trades and skills is like, you know, making music and hip hop in particularly, it's still in the top five. But I would say that music, just like most young black men specifically, it's like music is your introduction to the world.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You don't got a formal education, or like you said, you don't got a family or a community that has, you know, an environment or infrastructure for you to step into, whether that's a
Mhm.
business or a
Mhm.
trade or
Mhm.
something that's
Mhm.
like passed down as far as an
Mhm.
asset. It's like
Mhm.
most black boys are introduced to the world through hip hop music, whether that's fashion,
Mhm.
finance, technology.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like those are our introductions. So I started with music and then I started learning how adept I was in other areas because of how I was able to just organize the components of making a successful record.
Mm.
And so now, like, I'm very still much an artist. I feel like I'm one of them. I feel I like one person I appreciate, artistically is Jay-Z. You know what I mean?
Oh, so do I. So
He
do
ain't letting
I.
his age dictate his relevance or
Yep.
his approach or his consistency. It's like, you could be just like any other creative profession, whether you're a director or a musician or you play a different genre, like you're not dictated by your age. Bruce Springsteen's still playing that fucking
Yeah,
guitar.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? But
yeah.
in our community, it's like people try to be like, "Oh, you too old to rap," and it's like, it's too old to write and structure sentences over beats. How are you too old to do
I was
that? Like that's
yeah, that's
you're never too
It's
old.
true. You're not only are you never too old, this is when I'm like, put me, it needs to be it could be a thing. Let me add that. So it could be I was telling someone this not too long ago, like you could create like a rap camp for middle-aged dudes. Like that would be the dopest thing. Like a rap clinic for the over the hill. You know what I mean? But like, people in their
Yeah,
40s and 50s who didn't necessarily who didn't get to make it, not because they weren't good, not because they didn't whatever, but because the demands of life. And it's not like there is a you can earn a livelihood blueprint for music. Like, I mean, sure, there are in certain like behind the scenes music production roles, but those are not that visible on the surface. And all you're seeing as in the performer roles, you're not really seeing a lot of the here are people who earn a pretty fine living just performing. You see stars, and then you see starving artists. You kind of
yeah,
don't see anything in
that's
between. Yeah, you don't see anything in between. So talk to me about when you said distribution through media primarily. Like, what specifically does that mean? What are you talking about? So that the audience who doesn't exist, but when you share this, the audience, right? Yeah.
yeah,
So we
man. So
understand.
I grew up in the TV era. You
So,
know what I'm saying? Where it's like everything that I consumed, at least 90% of it, until I mean, not. Let me rephrase that. Even when I played my video games, I'm transmitting them through a television. So like the medium of how I'm
yes,
consuming all
yes,
my media
yes.
is basically a television. I ain't
hmm
reading no magazines. I ain't reading. I don't listen
Oh,
to the
that's
radio.
so fascinating because our when you see the link, our overlay is an old school TV.
Oh
It's
yeah,
an old school TV with flowers in it. I'm gonna take a screenshot of it
that's
real quick
divine.
so you
Yeah,
can
that's a
see.
line.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead. So
That's a
your
line.
medium was the TV.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a TV baby. I was born in the 90s, so it's like, all of the other forms of media that were, fading out or just, being re-prioritized as far as importance, it's like TV was the thing growing up. So,
Mm.
but once again, once I learned as an adult, you know, how television works. Like yesterday, I was just researching media, and back in 1953, there was 50 companies who produced television. Mind you, 50
Mm.
people determining what 300 million people watch is still kind of small. But
Mm.
today, only 6 people own and control 90% of the media today. And it's like, so 6 people dictate what we all consume.
Mm.
And those 6 people have shared interests,
Mhm.
advertisers.
Mhm.
Everybody, in the media space, they all really, so we're the product
Right.
in
So
that
we're the
case.
product, and they don't even sell us like they know, like they don't even sell us wisely. That's the thing. And they sell us in a way that provides little to no bottom line to the
You
actual advertisers. You know what I mean?
know
Like
what I
it's
mean?
that there was the attention economy even before there was the attention economy. Keep going. I'm listening.
Yeah, so it's like I came into it like, man, I can't get on the radio. I don't, there's that was a job. Like you
Mhm.
had to have credentials and
Mhm.
resume and
Mhm.
recommendations and stuff. So
Mhm.
I couldn't get on the radio. I
Mhm.
definitely couldn't get on the TV. That was
Mhm.
top of the food chain.
Mhm.
And then, then the internet came out,
Mhm.
which ain't nobody really know that the internet was going to become a media platform. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Then we got social media. So the way that I started positioning myself in the industry was I had a commercial space, and traditionally, people with a commercial space, they would either run TV ads, run
Mhm.
radio ads, the what we would call terrestrial media. You
Mhm.
dig? So, or put up some flyers and all of that. But I just saw this what I learned the word I found this arbitrage, which was just this space in between the spaces where it's like ain't nobody really paying attention to this.
Mm.
Where it's like I would put a post up on social media and maybe 100 people would see it, but then I
Mhm.
started recognizing like man, if 100 people saw this within a matter of 8 hours, I was like, that's like the equivalent if I had to stay outside for 8 hours and actually talk to people. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And then so it's like I started doubling down on that as far as, this was back when Instagram only had 10-second videos and then it had 30-second videos. So
Mhm.
you had to be very articulate with and concise more so than articulate. You had to be very concise with what you was going to say.
Mhm.
But I didn't have to say much. All I would do is just walk people through my building. I'm like, hey, this is TJ News or Terrence Harris, whatever I was saying. And I'm like, we in the space. If you're a creative or an artist, come by, check us out. We got an open mic this Tuesday. And like, it was literally bringing people from the phone to the building. Uh,
Mm.
so like, I
What do you
started
mean
to
from the
realize,
phone? What do you mean from the phone?
like, when people would be on Instagram, social media wise, they
Mm.
would see the post on their social media, and then they'd be like, they have all of the information that they need to just show up at the building. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have
Mm.
to go outside and put up no flyers. I didn't have to go through the radio. I didn't need to get a television ad. Like, I was getting direct to the consumers that I wanted to talk to. I got directly to the curators, directly to the other brands and businesses. I was just talking directly to them.
Mhm.
One of the light bulbs that went off for me to start doing that organically was one time I ran an advertisement for a t-shirt I was selling back in like 2017 or 2018 on
Mhm.
Meta. And man, it was like people were seeing the product for 8 pennies, 11 pennies.
Mm.
Like, and I'm like, man, like, this is so cheap to
Yeah,
get
it
people to
is.
actually engage with
Yeah.
my product. Like, this was now the click per product now is like some people are paying $30 to acquire a customer. That's how
Mm.
much it's been
And that doesn't
inflated.
even necessarily convert to a purchase, does it?
Nah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Back then, I
Mhm.
was selling $20, $30 t-shirts in Virginia. Like people would see my
Mhm.
stuff from Facebook. They'd be like, oh, TJ, you got a brand? I'm selling t-shirts right on the spot, 11 cents, 15 cents. So it was like,
So
that was
what
my
do you
introduction to
do?
media.
What do you do now that relays that same result? Like what do you do now to get that same result in terms of your media distribution?
Yeah, I mean, today, like, I call it omnipresence.
Yep.
Where it's like I can create one piece of content and be
Mhm.
on several platforms, just like back in the day, like a television programmer
Mhm.
could put their intellectual property on multiple channels.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Or have it go to multiple points of distribution. That's
Right.
why I like using that word. I just look
Right.
at it all as distribution. So
You
it's
just
like
think
if
of
I had,
everything as so you don't think of it as like omni-channel marketing. You think of it as like omni-channel whatever distribution is what we're saying.
yeah, because marketing for me is like, I feel like marketing is almost like trying to convince somebody. I just be
Mhm.
wanting presence.
Mm.
As long as I'm present, people gonna decide for themselves. And then plus I don't have to overextend into the creative. Because when you do marketing, then you got to get into like psychology and hooks and
Mm.
target addressable market. And you start
Mm.
crunching so many numbers and it just becomes like Frankenstein. You know what I'm saying? Versus
Mm.
it's just like just show up. I just show up. Like I just show up and then I just say what I gotta say. And then I let the market decide for itself. I don't do too much of that's why when people be like, oh, what do you do? And like people be or my colleagues or my associates, they'll be like, TJ is such a great marketer. But it's like I don't be marketing. I just have direction for my creative and I just do that. Like I just stay in, I have a direction for what I do creatively, and I just look at the things that align with my what I call creative DNA the most.
So
I'm a talker.
what are the directions then that you have creatively? Like what is the expected result? Is the direction articulated in terms of like a result or an output, a desirable output?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
how do
So
you
the
do that?
result for me personally, like if I have a client, then I'm pretty much embedded on whatever they
Mhm.
desired result
Mhm.
is. But for
Mhm.
my media platform, my desired result is organizing people in rooms, like transferring people from online into physical spaces.
Mhm.
Uh, that's the top priority.
Mhm.
My subsequent priority or result that I'm looking for is like, all right, if you're not able to show up in person, how can we get you into what
Okay.
I like to call like an enclosed digital community,
Mm-hmm.
where there's not an algorithm or there's no
Mm-hmm.
feed or like constant distraction from what it is
Mm-hmm.
that we would like you to engage with.
Mm-hmm.
So like I like to make digital communities secondarily, but if I can get you to show up in person, that's always the goal.
Give me an example of a digital community that you've created and how you've convened people there.
Yeah, so like the first one I ever did was Discord. They got
Mm-hmm.
this app called Discord.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped using Discord because um, it seemed like people were getting so frustrated with like the learning curve of how to use it. Like they had,
Mm-hmm.
I love Discord personally,
Mm-hmm.
but like the people I was wanting to engage with, once again, going to like the direction of the creative, the goal is to get people engaged and to talk to them and have a more meaningful experience with them.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're not interested in the platform, if it's not native for them, if they keep
Mm-hmm.
forgetting to log in, like
Mm-hmm.
there's no point. You just kind of like trying, once again,
Mm-hmm.
that's marketing when you're trying to get people to do something for your desired
Mm-hmm.
outcome and result. And
Mm-hmm.
you like, these are the benefits and this is why. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, it really don't got nothing to do with their
Mm-hmm.
initial desire. You now
Mm-hmm.
convince them to be on Discord. I don't feel like doing that. So it's like, then Instagram, then I'm just going through the
Yeah, go,
iterations.
go.
You know,
I'm listening. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it's like Instagram, being Instagram, they copy features from other
Yep.
platforms.
Yep.
So then that's when they started creating channels. That's what
Mm-hmm.
they call it, is channels. So the thing about just group chats in general,
Mm-hmm.
the thing I didn't like about Instagram is it doesn't give you enough preferences and enough like settings to be
Mm-hmm.
able to toggle people's engagement. So a lot of times I was getting people and the barrier of access was too easy.
Mm.
So Discord was too frustrating and difficult for people, but Instagram was
Mm.
too easy. So I was having
Mm.
strangers, people was in there
Mm.
arguing, talking, my
Mm.
phone notifications going off every three
Mm.
seconds. It was
Mm.
too chaotic.
Mhm.
So I was
Mhm.
like, all right, I don't want to do the Instagram thing. It was making me too accessible. And
Mhm.
then so people wasn't really like making the actions that the direction that was intended for the incubation
Mhm.
process that I was doing.
Mhm.
So then I did a website,
Yeah.
um, and I feel like that was like the beginning of a good medium,
Mhm.
like because it's like it's not too foreign, it's not too like challenging or difficult to get people on there, and then also it allowed me to like toggle and change some of the preferences of how people could engage with the community while they were on it.
And that's like the comments section of a website, or what do you mean?
Yeah, comments, direct messages, um, but mainly like like just like when you're in a group chat on a telephone,
Mhm.
like everybody's seeing what everybody is saying,
How
and it's like
is
a
the website
conversation.
itself a group chat, or is it does it just
Yeah, yeah. I used
what
to use
website?
Squarespace for that.
Yo,
That was
you were oh,
Squarespace.
Squarespace can make a group chat website?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
But
know
so
that.
it's like an add-on. So you pay extra to get that, to have that community space. And so that was the only reason I actually stopped using it, was because I was paying for my website and then I'm paying for all these additional features. So then it's
Mm.
just like once it became, once again, this is just like what I love about.
Wait, can we hop on this, the one more time because it's gonna cut off just for the last 10 minutes, is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, for
Okay, alright,
sure.
let's hop back on, okay.
Recording.
Mhm.
Recording in progress.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Okay.
here.
Okay. And I know you got to go. Okay. So, you were saying the Squarespace, there's a community space, and I forgot where we went there because I stopped you.
No, I was gonna say the next part that I iterated on was what I feel like I love the most about business is because it's like no thing ever stays the same. And I feel
Mm,
like what I do is because I'm such a outsider on an industry standard, I'm
mm,
always looking for the most innovative approach. I'm always
mm-hmm,
ahead of the game. You know, people
mm-hmm,
get so comfortable
mm-hmm,
in
mm-hmm,
what's already working that sometimes they're not even looking at what's on the horizon. So
mm,
it's like when I started recognizing the digital community thing, I'm doing this before everybody else.
mm-hmm,
Everybody else still trying to
mm-hmm,
go viral. They still trying
mm-hmm,
to,
mm-hmm,
pay for ads and get unorganic engagement
mm-hmm,
because they trying to go for volume. And it's
mm-hmm,
like there's just a standard on the industry level.
mm-hmm.
And then there's what's actually working, what's generating the highest ROIs,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? As far as that's what's working, that's what works for me is like, profit wise, you dig? As far,
Mm-hmm.
business stuff. And then I feel like the aha moment was when I started seeing, because I was like, man, why are y'all making me pay to engage with my own people? Like, this is crazy to me.
Mm.
Like, I'm willing to do it because I'm making the profit, but it's like, these my people. Like, they want to
Mm.
talk to me. The only reason
Mm.
they're on your platform is because there's a me or 1,000 other me's that they want to be with, but it ain't because of your platform. They're going to get on whatever platform they got to get on to engage with the person that they want to engage with. It's not about the platform, it's about the person.
Yeah.
So it was like when I started realizing that, I'm like, when I started going closer to the platforms that were not charging me to engage with my own people. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
stopped having a website like that because it's like
Mm-hmm.
they had Patreon, Substack,
Mm-hmm.
and then like even just cheaper versions of a website. Like I have a domain that I use called Stan Store,
Mm-hmm.
and that's mainly just because it has so many features in it from other paid platforms. So it's like if you had Zoom, Google Watch, Google Meet, auto DM, community tab, website, like all in one. That's what Stan Store is, and it's way cheaper than a website. So it's like I started going to the places where it's like creator centric platforms where they're like,
Mm.
we want to empower the creative because we know if we empower the creative, we're going to make money anyway, right? Through the transaction fees, through the hosting fees. Like, we
Mm-hmm.
don't got to extract so much money from them. So that's where I'm at now, where it's like my communities that I've been developing. I got like on my Substack, I got over 600 people who are engaged in my newsletter
Mm-hmm.
on
And is that
my
600
stands.
followers or subscribers or just 600
Yeah,
reach? Okay.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
subscribers. Yeah. There's
Mm-hmm.
600 subscribers on
Mm-hmm.
my YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They've been integrating features like that as well, where you can do like direct messages and
Mm-hmm.
community and stuff like that. So I've been working a lot more on YouTube, but like my Stand Store has been able to aggregate hundreds of people over there, where I'm talking and engaging with them just directly. Like they get an email directly from me,
Mm.
and the platform interface is really simple. And if like you really, really want to know what's going on with me, all you gotta do is go through those channels versus, surfing through social media and having to, like endure everything else that
Mm.
comes along with it. So like that's been my journey. I've been on that. I've been doing that ever since I closed my space because the space was just like a small example of what my impact and influence was in real life. So it's like I would have my space, 30, 40 people would show up in person from what I would say on social media. So I was like, man, I could amplify
Is
this
this
if I just,
Squarespace space or is this Twitter space? You
when you
said you
say
had your
space, oh
space.
no, when I'm saying the commercial space, like the physical one I used to have.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what do you mean your space? Got it. Okay.
Yeah. When I used to
Mm-hmm.
have that physical space, I could make, going back to the initial story, like I would get on social media and could make people show up in person. But I'm like, what if
Mm.
I removed the physical barrier? You know what I'm saying? Like, because everybody can't hop in the
Mm.
car and come every time, but people open up their phones every 12 minutes. So it's like I can engage them as much as I like through the phone if they can't make it in person. So that's why I started doing the digital community as almost like a intangible physical space
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, oh, you want to hear my new music? Here it is. If you want to get engaged with this new topic, new videos I'm watching, like we can just talk right here, through this online platform. So that's why I like the digital communities the most, because it's like
And do
it's
people
literally the
pay to
most
be a part of?
efficient.
Do people pay to be a part of your stand store?
Yeah. So all of those offers I mentioned, from Patreon to Substack and Stand Store, all three of them, I have paid offers.
Oh, is this
My
TJ
whole thing,
Trades? Stand.store/TJ Trades?
no, Terrence Harris. It should be
Got it.
stand.store/Terrence Harris.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Stand.store.
You'll know it's mine because it's got my face on it.
And
Like,
you
it's
know
like
I'm going to do the same. Terrence Harris. Okay.
and that's TERRENCE.
Yep, I got it. I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Still growing.
So,
Oh, you can pre-order the magazine. Nice. Wait, so where's the chat? Oh,
so it should,
resources.
it should have like a link that takes you to a digital community.
So I see Instagram, TikTok, mail, Facebook, video, link, X. And then I see something called resources. Oh, there he goes.
Yeah,
Okay.
click that. Yeah.
Resource. Well, wait, it's still not letting me. It's not letting me click on resources. Still growing. Oh, still growing digital community. Start here. Okay. It's the still growing digital community. Okay. Private access to blah, blah, blah. Early access to this is your official welcome into the still growing movement. Grow with us. Oh, that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
And there's your size so that if you want to sell anything, whatever. Okay. Oh, that's neat. And you design what your thing looks like.
For sure.
And then you
For
get
sure.
the data. Okay, then you set up your password.
Right.
Got it. You
Right.
set up your password, choose your own. Sorry, I don't want to choose my own. I didn't want to choose my own. Sorry. No, I don't want to choose my own. Boom. Okay, now, can't you make one for me? Use strong password, set password. Oh, look at that. And then
Simple. It
yeah.
ain't take no time at all. Super simple. Like,
okay.
super
And now
simple.
you found that this works because, and people go here?
Yeah,
How
for
often
sure.
do people go?
Oftentimes it's like what they call direct marketing, since that's the word of the day. It's like I
there's
usually send it
69
directly to
members.
people.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be my primary.
Oh, I see. I haven't written here in a while, and I want to be honest about why a lot has been going on. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Oh,
Yeah, I
neat.
switched. By the end of that, it explains I'm on Substack now. So I've had 6 times the success on Substack than there, just because I'm a tools person. I'm not married to none of these platforms. I want the tools. So I was doing Stand Store, but then I realized, like, man, Substack's giving me a lot of these features for free for a transaction fee.
Right. Right. And that's for transit. And so does Substack give you community? I know it gives you notes.
Yeah, it gives you a chat. Like, so there's a tab and it's called chat. So like if you want to just have a direct conversation with people, they can join your chat.
Okay, so in the last 5 to 7 minutes, I want a repeatable process for writing Substack articles that with AI. And I want it to sound, the fact that I'm saying this out loud to someone is really embarrassing. I want it to, because this is what people say, because I want it to sound like me. I want it to extract from my existing ideas. I want it to infer the dots I'm connecting and to make them out loud. But so then every time I get into the goal, I always think through the how, and the how, often me thinking through the how will confuse the AI when I actually go to try to do something. So I guess I'm asking you, because if I'm not mistaken, you write with AI. Don't you write with AI, or am I wrong about that?
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
I want to know, what is your mechanical process, like your repeatable process for writing your Substack articles? Because right now you publish what, 3 times a week? Am I getting that right? Is it twice a week or
I
3 times a
mean,
week?
at this point, pretty much like 3 times a week minimum.
Yeah, minimum, right,
Minimum.
minimum. So do you have a schedule? Are you setting out time, or do you find yourself dictating in speech to text, like your thoughts, some musings, and then going back and forth, input, output with the model, and then you can see or hear a piece, a long form piece shaping up, and then you say a certain trigger that then prompts the system to start writing the Substack article? Like, what is your process?
So like, thank you for that question, because I actually created, I didn't like go to the process of like trademarking it and all of that stuff, but I have something called the CREATE method, right? So it's like an acronym. It's C is for create, R is for reach, and then E is for engage, and then the 8 at the end. So like create. And so the reason that's 8 is because it's an 8-step process. In 8 steps, you can pretty much do everything that you just mentioned. So I'll share that with you after this as well.
Oh, okay,
because it's a
great.
course.
Okay.
Yeah, I made it a course on the Stand Store. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
really? Okay.
Yeah, it's not published. It's like it's a product. So I sell it, but I'm gonna give it to you for free. And
Well, can I do it? I can do it. I can do it out loud. So if you give me, so we need to talk about this, because I can do it.
yeah, I'm about to tell you the
Yeah,
steps
I
though,
can. Okay,
because
I'm
you
gonna
said
say
you
I
want to
can
share the
use it
video.
out loud if we have a place that I can link people to share what I'm trying out, what I'm using right now, and especially if it works. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes,
I would rather,
man.
yeah, I would rather use your process than there's this woman who's Substack process. Hi.
Hey, I'm going to the gym, then I'm gonna go to the grocery store.
Okay, have a good workout. Yeah. What was I about to say? Yes. Send it. Yes. So yes, please. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay. And you got to go. But wait, you want to go through the steps now, or do you want to send it to me and then hang tight on that?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay,
I'll send
great.
it to
Okay,
you, and
thank
then
you.
you know what I mean, we can pick up on that next time we speak. Like,
Okay,
we can
that'd be
unpack that. But
perfect.
yeah,
That'd
it's
be
like,
perfect. That'd be perfect. Thank you, TJ. Thank you, Terrence. Ladies and gentlemen, Terrence Harris, my young friend in his Jesus age year with so much
yes.
life ahead of him, just shining brightly in the world and always being serviceable and kind and inspiring. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I'm getting it loaded up right now. I'm about to send it to you as soon as we get on.
Okay, cool. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, blessings. You too.
Bye.
All right.
Record.